And you may have seen my unboxing video for this scooter, the Vokul TG-6061 Pro. And I said I'd film a review, so here it is. So the first thing you'll notice about this scooter is its coloring. It has white bars with a black deck, and then it has white and orange wheels, and orange grips, and like some orange on the deck and stuff. So it's basically white and black with like orange contrast. Now there are, I believe, 4 different colors for this being one of them. You'll also notice the grip taping on the deck. Now, if you guys don't like this, you can obviously get different grip tape, which I'm not exactly sure how much that costs, but it's probably not too much. And this deck is a little dirty for me riding it a lot. So it has this wolf on it, which I personally like. It looks pretty sick. And then it also says Vokul Sport. The deck definitely isn't the biggest. This is just 1 foot on it, but then it does have this wheel guard to rest your second foot on it. If you guys are familiar with razors, this is definitely a bigger deck than on a razor, but it's not the biggest one. It then has these nice Y-style handlebars, which I personally like much more than like a T or a U bar, with this little crossbar here that's actually slightly curved, if you can see that. I'm not exactly sure what their thought behind that was. Maybe it looks a little cooler, or like it adds a bit of structural rigidity. I'm not too sure, but I think it looks pretty good. It then also has this Vokul Sport sticker on the bar, which can be easily taken off, and I'll probably take that off once I'm done with this video, because it's already kind of peeling. And then it has a little sticker down there on the fork. So back here you'll notice it has this wheel guard that looks like it might be a brake. And it's actually not a brake, it's just a wheel guard. But in like a really bad case scenario, it's bad to just use brakes at all on scooters because it wears out the wheels. But I mean, if you truly need to stop and like you're going too fast to just use your foot on the ground, then on the back of it, it does go down. I don't know if you guys can see, but it does go down barely enough to stop the wheel if you need to. Wouldn't recommend it though. Now, I don't have many complaints with this scooter, but one for sure is the BMX grips that it comes with are a little bit hard. There's not like much padding at all to them, as there is with a lot of BMX grips. So I'm personally fine with it. It just hurts after it starts to hurt, and like you get blisters and stuff after like quite a bit of riding. But like, I personally like it because it's easier to just move the scooter around because you don't have as much resistance with the padding. The paint does chip kind of easily. It's not the biggest deal. I mean, if there's a good scooter but the paint chips, then I would still ride it, like this one. I find that this is a great scooter to ride, and I'm not going to let a little paint chipping stop me. Really, the only other complaint that I have with it is that it has a triple clamp, which I'm not sure if this is the whole problem, but I personally do not like triple clamps because the way they work, they stay on better, but they don't clamp it quite as good as other clamps, just the way they work. And so I may end up replacing the clamp because after a while of riding, then the handlebars and the fork will start to come unaligned, and which isn't the best thing because it's a little hard to fix if you don't have an Allen wrench on you. So I'll probably be replacing my clamp. Now the wheels on this scooter, one, they look pretty cool. I personally like the design of them, and they also do ride very well. They're very smooth. They're good for landings with like bunny hops and stuff. They're just overall pretty good wheels in my opinion. And the bearings also keep them on very well. They don't like kind of move around and stuff and like make a lot of noise like on a razor. You'll also notice that the handlebars are slightly tilted back, which I personally like. I don't like having to reach out far for bars that are like straight up. So I personally do like the tilt. If you guys don't, then this might not be the scooter for you. But I definitely do personally like the tilt, and I think it's just a little easier to do tricks. This scooter's definitely designed for the skate park. It does simple tricks very well, like tail whips, bunny hops. That's one thing I've found, is this scooter's very light. It weighs, I think, about 10 pounds. I'm not too sure. But it's very light, and probably one of the best scooters that you can find to do bunny hops with. I also personally like the design of the bottom of the deck, because it has these two little rails on the side that protrude very slightly more than the rest of the deck. So when you like grind, or like you drop into a bowl and you scrape, or whatever it might be, whatever your deck, the bottom of the deck might touch, you can only see it on the outskirts and not on the whole deck, which I like a lot. And this is also a very smooth deck. It's made more for grinding than it is stalling, so it's a little hard to do stalls on it, but very easy to like grind and stuff. It's built with military grade aluminum, so it's very light, and since it's military grade aluminum and like it seems like the structure's made very well on the scooter, it's also very sturdy and stuff, and I don't see this thing breaking anytime soon for me. Maybe if you do like super extreme tricks, but like I've ridden some like more professional scooters, like some definitely more expensive ones, and they definitely don't feel quite as rigid as this thing. So I hope you guys found this review of the Vokul TG-6061 Pro helpful. I would definitely recommend it as a scooter, especially for beginners like me, because it's very easy to do stuff on. And even a lot of pro riders could probably find this to be a good scooter. But overall, I'd probably give it about 4.5 stars out of 5. Definitely a scooter I'd recommend. So I hope you guys found this review helpful. Peace. But they don't clamp it quite as good as other clamps, just the way all these cars. I don't see this thing, another car.